Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Look, if there's one absolute undeniable truth about the World Cup, it's that every single tournament completely rewrites the established hierarchy. We're not here today to talk about the traditional powerhouses, right? We already know exactly what the usual suspects bring to the table. Instead, we're diving into the tactical and atmospheric anomalies that create those magical Cinderella runs. We're on the hunt for the squads that possess that perfect storm of momentum, structure, and sheer willpower to dismantle the absolute giants of the beautiful game.
So that brings us to the ultimate analytical question for 2026. Who could become the next giant killers? Which teams are flying completely under the radar right now, just waiting to upend the group stages and absolutely bust the brackets of fans everywhere? Today, we're breaking down 3 specific nations that have the exact right mix of tactical talent, environmental conditions, and timing to truly shock the footballing world when the whistle blows.
Okay, let's dive into this and kick things off with our number 3 pick, Mighty Morocco.
To really grasp Morocco's threat level for 2026, we have to rewind just a bit to 2022. During that tournament in Qatar, they didn't just scrape by on sheer luck. No way. They fundamentally shattered glass ceilings. By becoming the very first African nation in history to reach a World Cup semifinal, they proved they could out-tactic and outwork the traditional European juggernauts. But you know what the truly frightening part is for the rest of the world? It's not just what they achieved back then. It's that their developmental pipeline ensures they're continually evolving. The anatomy of a true dark horse becomes crystal clear when you look at their current squad profile. They pair this famously rigid defensive structure, the kind that just suffocates passing lanes and totally frustrates world-class strikers, with high-end, dynamic offensive talent capable of lethal counterattacks. But the real X-factor here, it's that giant beating confidence. They don't enter these massive fixtures hoping to just compete or, scrape a draw anymore. They step onto the pitch with the absolute certainty that they can conquer football royalty. With these specific traits locked in, do not be surprised for a second if they systematically sent another football powerhouse packing early in the knockout stages.
Moving right along up the list, our number 2 contender, host nation Canada.
The Canadians already boast an incredibly exciting young squad filled with players cutting their teeth in top leagues. But their real trump card for this specific tournament? It's the home support advantage. In international football, playing in familiar climates and stadiums, literally bypassing the physiological exhaustion of intercontinental travel, gives a team a massive, tangible edge. Add to that the sheer wall of sound from a roaring home crowd, it fundamentally transforms a solid team into a deeply dangerous, highly emotional unit that can run relentlessly for a full 90 minutes.
In fact, our source material sums this dynamic up perfectly. History shows that host nations often perform better than expected. We've seen this phenomenon time and time again, right? That home crowd energy basically acts as a 12th man on the pitch, pushing players way beyond their normal physical limits during those crucial game-defining moments. Because of this undeniable historical trend, paired with their rising golden generation of talent, Canada might just end up being the ultimate surprise package of the entire tournament.
And now, it's time to unveil our ultimate dark horse. Number 1, the Super Eagles. The Nigerian national team has always possessed just raw, unadulterated talent. But looking at their current profile, their natural footballing traits are perfectly suited to exploit modern tactical setups. We're talking about a devastating mix of elite speed and transition and this dazzling attacking flair that can unpick even the most organized, stubborn defensive low blocks. Plus, they have a proven, undeniable track record of producing some of Africa's absolute biggest stars who know exactly how to handle the pressure of the big stage. The raw ingredients for a championship contending team have literally always been there, just waiting for the perfect moment to click. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the number 48. The upcoming tournament features a brand new expanded 48-team format, and this structural change completely alters the underlying math of the entire competition. For a highly emotional, momentum-driven team like the Super Eagles, this expanded structure gives them a prime chance to systematically build their rhythm in the group stages. It lets them iron out tactical wrinkles early on, gather immense momentum, and launch a deep, devastating run into the later rounds where their attacking firepower can truly shine. I want you to just picture this for a second. If that elite speed, that unpredictable attacking flair, and the swelling momentum of a 48-team format all align perfectly, Nigeria might just pull off the biggest shock in modern football history.
Imagine the Super Eagles actually lifting the World Cup trophy. It would be a monumental, paradigm-shifting event that would completely rewrite the global football landscape and cement a legacy that fans around the world would absolutely never forget.
So as we wrap up our top-down countdown, the ultimate question remains: who will shock the world?
And this brilliantly illustrates three distinct, highly specialized paths to a deep tournament run. Morocco enters the fray armed with an elite defense and the invaluable, hardened experience of their 2022 semifinal campaign. Canada brings the undeniable, chaotic power of home support and physiological familiarity. And Nigeria enters armed with a lethal attacking flair built to perfectly exploit the new 48-team format. Any single one of these three nations possesses the exact profile and X-factor needed to become the ultimate giant killer and completely tear through the established brackets.
The true beauty of the World Cup isn't in predictably watching the heavy favorites march to victory. It's in the unpredictable, glorious chaos of the underdog rising to the occasion. So, I leave you with this. Which of these three specific advantages, hardened tactical experience, sheer home field energy, or overwhelming attacking momentum, do you think is the ultimate recipe for a giant killer? Do you agree with this list, or will someone else shock the world? Drop your predictions in the comments, and keep your eyes peeled as the journey to 2026 officially gets underway.